Hey, we're live. Welcome to Imperial Voxcast, your light in the darkness of the warp. I'm keeping it. I don't care. Um, welcome, guys. We're going to be playing D&D here today. Session 2 for my Shattered Lands, the Ivory Order. And we're down a player. Unfortunately, our Hrothgar, one of our fighter wizards, is currently out due to life. And so we're going to be running 3 players through here. We've last session they arrived at the town Grelic after summons from the town, looking for aid due to some kind of random goblin attacks that have been happening over the last few weeks, which is odd for this region, being that they're on islands, floating islands. They don't get a lot of like new crazy monster attacks, and most of the goblins on this island have been, I don't know, tamed or assimilated, however you want to phrase it, over the last 300 years or so since all the islands were raised up and the shattering. So they called for help, and arriving with help, you were sent here by Captain Ironbreaker, the dwarven captain of your cell. And during that first night, you were, the town was attacked by goblins. One of these raids came out. Chasing after them, our brave Ferretin charged in, jumped onto a cart, unfortunately by himself to start with, got a nice little beating. And then Zero came in to help. And eventually the slower dwarf got his chubby legs up. Hrothgar came in to help. Kind of solidify that little combat while Lucas was back in the town putting out a fire into the goblins had started during this raid. You were able to then find your way to the lair that the goblins were. Seems like a more like a more normal structure, like something the goblins did not obviously make, but they are obviously using an older structure. In which Zero has moved in using his ability as a Gloomstalker Ranger to kind of disappear in darkness. And in his scouting move, he decided to take on the goblins there at the bottom by himself, which began a kind of a alarm or ruckus being raised. And the forthcoming battle, more damage was dealt into Ferretin, I believe. And I think we ended there pretty much. You had just slaughtered, I believe it was like 8 goblins that were in this little like barracks room just past the sentries. And there was a room off to your right that you could hear some snarling, some like guttural sounds of some sort of beasts in there down a short hallway. And there is another hallway off to the left that we have not yet explored. So that being, what would you like to do?
All right, so explain it again. We have a hallway off to the left that we have not explored. We have the hallway we came in.
Yeah, so the hallway, the room you're in is a somewhat small room, but it's filled with like bunk beds. So it was an old barracks of some sort, a little table. So there's a hallway behind, let's say behind you. If you put the hallway you came in behind you, there's one to the right side of the room.
Right.
That I believe you had kind of moved up to, Ferretin.
Yes.
And you had heard the guttural sounds of some sort of creature or beast in there. And I believe maybe caught the waft of some foul stench.
That's right. That's right.
But then across from that, almost directly across from that, there's another hallway that leads out, like a down that kind of hallway. It's dark and works down that way, but you have not even really checked anything down that way. We kind of stopped at the right. It was getting late. We were running late.
And I think I had told the group that there was something down this hall.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. All right. So I set myself on guard while the group kind of figures out what it wants to do, but I'm prepared for something to come down this hall that maybe heard the combat previously.
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, I had identified that the smell from the other side was possibly a like refuse area with a survival check. I can't quite remember, but I want to say that's what I did it on. So you'll convey that.
Yeah, I don't remember specifically that. If you want
Like, I remember
to
you
give a
saying it
survival
smelled
check,
like something like rotted and foul smelling like hay.
that's right. Yeah, so a rotten, foul-smelling decay scent. So not necessarily refuse, but a rotten, foul-smelling stench from that direction.
So I will convey that to the group, saying that the smell does smell of decay, so that it's possibly there's something down there that they feed whatever scraps, or they might just toss whatever is dead in that area.
Okay. Well, perhaps we should check it out before it comes and checks us out.
I agree. Zero, you seem to be proficient in not being noticed until you want to be. Would you like to scout it out ahead of us?
Oh, yes, I can take a look. And I'll have him move forward to start looking down.
I follow about 10 feet behind slowly.
And I'll fall behind Faradin, trying to pay attention to the opposite way, using the light that I have, but covering it so I don't give away light against Zero and Faradin.
All right, excellent. Can I get quick stealth rolls? And just drop them in the chat.
Natural 20.
His mother doesn't even know where he is.
For a total of 25.
Nice.
Well, I'm going to be much lower. Give me 1 second here.
It's not good. No rush.
I just need to. I don't know what the penalty on this is, if there's a penalty on this.
If you are wearing
Chainmail.
most heavy armor, is disadvantage, so you have to roll twice.
Right on. Well, we're going to be at 11 then.
Okay.
I'm still worse than you at 7.
Perfect. So Zero, you move forward like a ghost. In fact, you kind of disappear from most. And I believe even Faradin will not be able to see you as you move out of the light radius, because that's your thing. If someone's relying on dark vision, you kind of just disappear, right? You go invisible.
Yes, yeah.
So you move in and you get closer and closer to this room. And as you kind of get into the area where your vision is finally illuminating the room enough so that you can see it, as it works with dark vision, your gray or whatever, you spot in there 3 large creatures, canine looking, a little bit bigger, kind of nastier, snarling, but they are all chained up to the walls using these heavy, like iron looking chains. They're chained there, and near the middle of this room is a couple rotted carcasses of some like livestock. Something looks like a horse, another one like a hog, that have been slaughtered and kind of thrown in there to feed these 3 wards. But they are currently shackled up. But as you kind of come into vision, they sniff and they kind of stand up and start growling even louder and pushing against the edge of their chains, but they're still too far away. They won't be able to reach you while chained up.
Is there anything, like, is there another doorway or path through this way, or is it a dead end?
This room is actually a dead end. Whatever it was before or whatever it's used right now, it is just being used to house these wargs, somewhere out of the elements, somewhere out of the prying eye of others. And there's nothing beyond this room that you can tell.
I would,
But they're chained up, you say?
yeah. I'd head back
Yes.
to my companions.
Is it worth us putting these things down, or?
I'm not sure that we have risen an alarm.
Let us
Let
let us back off of this, then go back the other way.
It's better that the guard dog not know that we're around.
I turned and look at you, and I'm like, I don't know how they couldn't know we're around with all that noise you're making.
I mean, Zero would probably have gotten the sense that they knew he was there. They couldn't see him, obviously, but they have great smell and hearing, so they knew something was there. However, because of the chains, they really just kind of growled and pulled against it, but they aren't able to perceive you. It doesn't seem like
right, but they haven't started barking to give warning where we are. And to be honest, if we take care of the goblin problem, the warg problem will settle itself.
It's true. That is true. Let's go back the other direction.
Right.
We move back to the room we came from, and then go across the room from where we entered to the other dark corridor.
Okay.
I say we keep the marching order and keep going.
Perfect. Yeah, I figured, unless otherwise stated, we'll kind of stick that as Zero, Ferritin, and then Lucas. I think that's the marching order.
Yeah, unless somebody disagrees, I think that's our best bet right now.
Yeah. So you, Zero starts down the hallway, Ferritin shortly behind him, and as you walk down the hallway, it kind of splits. There's a direction, there's a turn to the right, and there is an opening continuing on down straight. Your dark vision, though, kind of shows that straight ahead of you will start to open up into some sort of room, whereas if you take the right, it goes down a ways and looks like perhaps two more hallways split off from it, and it will dead end.
Hang on one second. I'm going to start kind of mapping by your description. I have a pretty good visual of this, but I just want to keep this in mind. Works. Okay, so you said if we keep going straight, it looks like it opens up into a room, but to the right, it looks like it maybe goes down a ways and then maybe becomes a T intersection?
Yes, yeah, it turns into a T intersection. Since you guys have good dark vision, Zero especially, he'd be able to relay this on.
Let's I say we continue straight.
I'll just start walking that way.
I kind of motion with my sword, like go straight.
Okay.
We're also moving, like we're trying to move fairly quietly. I mean, we're not tromping around.
Yeah. For now, I'm just going to use your prior stealth rolls. So Zero is moving like a ghost.
Oh, if we couldn't.
And then the other two of you are less than stellar, but we'll use it for now. And I think I'll probably, maybe after this room, we'll roll another one and kind of see where we're at. But,
no sweat.
However, I'm not bogging it down with too many rolls here.
Yeah.
So Zero leads the way into this room. And so as you enter this room, the hallway enters like at the top of the room, and then it opens up into about like a 25 by 25 room, scattered with debris. Tables, chairs, they're all littered, kind of broken, discarded. It kind of looks as if this was some sort of storeroom, but it's been like ransacked. So things have thrown, whatever's been in here has been thrown around. It's not like relayed into any particular like order sense that someone would be actually using it. It appears as if someone was searching for something in this room.
How big did you say the room was, roughly?
It's about 25 by 25.
Okay, and did you say, was there any other exits?
None that you can see.
So a ransacked room.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we should take a peek around, see if we can. I mean, definitely. Maybe they didn't find what they were looking for.
Right.
All right.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
I'll stand guard in the hall just like 5 feet into the hall while they search the room.
Okay. So, why don't we do whoever has a better investigation, roll investigation with advantage, since
Who is
there's
that?
2 of you there.
It's gonna be 0. I have a -1.
Okay.
I have a +3. Maybe I should look.
Maybe you should.
All right, you stand guard 0. I'll look around.
They won't see me standing guard either.
Right.
most
Right.
likely,
Good
so-
point. Good point.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. The
I'll
scout will
guard.
stay.
I have the-
All right.
Well, that's okay. The scout will stand guard, and Lucas and Faradin will start rummaging through this debris, looking to see if they find anything.
I get a whopping 14.
And that was advantage.
Yeah, a 3
Okay.
and an 11 +3.
So you're both kind of looking through this this debris, and Lucas kind of spots like a pile that's obviously like they've kind of set some things aside, like they've looked through it, and as Faradin goes over and kind of looks through this pile, I mean, there's some old books, there's some discarded bits of solid wood pieces, but there's one thing that kind of strikes you as something that might be interesting. It would be a 10-inch 10-inch diameter.
Oh, okay.
It is black, obsidian disc, and it's about 1 inch thick, but so it's like this open disc, so like a circle, like a big O sort of a thing, but it was tossed in this pile, so it may be something or it may not be.
So it's like a disc, but essentially a hole in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's like a big O, like a 1 inch thick, 10-inch diameter.
And what does it appear to be made out of?
Obsidian.
All right, I'll put it in my pack.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, other than that, there doesn't really seem to be anything, no writings or anything like that, but maybe it's
all right.
something.
Let's
It's the only thing in the room that stood out to you.
all right. It's the only thing I got. I show these guys, and then I think we're ready to move forward back to the hallway.
All right. So I assume you proceed down the T section again. Why don't we do one more round of stealth rolls here?
Oh, it got worse.
It got better.
In a big way. Now I'm at a 4.
I'm on
Clink,
6.
clink.
Well, in the room when I was rummaging around, there were these tin cans tied to strings, and I'm apparently tangled up in them and just dragging them down the hallway with me.
Oh, shoot. Fair enough.
I didn't know somebody got married in there.
Apparently, I'm just stupid enough to go, that was part of his armor.
0, where are we at on you?
13.
Okay. Should have just left you guys where you were. Anyways, you come to this T intersection, and to the right and to the left, there's openings. Looks down. The one to the left kind of looks like it does a 90-degree turn again to the right from there. And then the one down the right goes a pretty good distance. And what's the range of your dark vision?
90.
The two that have dark. 90. Okay. So then you can see that one will take a turn to the left, a 90-degree turn up. So they both are going to turn upwards from this T intersection at the end of the hallway one. The one to the right goes much further. The one to the left goes about 25 feet and then goes up.
The one to the right goes straight considerably further.
Yep.
The one to the left, you said, goes to
25 feet. And then they both turn, if you're drawing up.
Yep. North.
North, yeah. On a piece of paper.
Got it. Oh, I see that both hallways do this.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And they turn
All
to
right.
the same direction.
Well,
No.
How can right be wrong? Let's go right.
Sounds fair.
All right. You continue down this hallway. You take the turn from here. It'll be a turn to the left, and you can see a door that is barred with its barricaded spikes like protruding out towards you. It appears that this has been pretty well blockaded.
Okay, so how much further up there was that? Was that door?
About 20 feet.
About 20 feet. And there's a door and it has spikes on it facing us. Anything impaled on them, or is it just?
No, it's just like this room was like for whatever reason this room has been blockaded and designed so that at least this direction does not look like it can be entered through.
Got it.
Also, that's also meant for an imposing feature associated to it.
Yeah.
Do we want to try this door? Or do we want to try the left direction? My assumption is that if we have a barricaded door here, they're going to assume we're going to try the other way and force all their energy on that section.
Maybe we should at least take a look at it before we move on. Zero, can you see if that thing is openable?
I guess I could take a look at it, and I will take a look. Can I see if it's has any way to?
Why don't we go with perception on this one?
Anything?
What was that?
Did you roll perception? Or
I didn't hear him ask for that. Is that
Yeah.
what you want me to do, Bill? Oh, okay. I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Perception. Sorry.
18. It might be
Okay.
9. Sorry.
Cool. So with an 18, you can tell the door is pretty well blockaded. Even the area that like would have a lock possibly has been like boarded up. Multiple nails driven into the door and heavy wood. Like they shoved as much stuff as they could. However, as you're over there kind of inspecting it, trying to discover things, you can hear like a deep guttural voices on the other side. Something, it doesn't sound like the normal goblins, but like it's a deep kind of obviously muffled through the door, but you can tell that there's something on the other side that does not seem to be similar to like the kind of more high-pitched goblin sounds that you got from the earlier foes.
Okay. But it still seems like they... I want to know that. Okay. Whoever set this door does not want anyone coming through anytime soon.
All right. Well, perhaps we should, I guess, make our way back. I don't see another way here. Looking at the walls, do I see anything that looks out of place, like maybe a hidden door or anything?
Do you want to give me investigation, I guess?
I sure do.
Or something like that.
15.
Okay. So looking at the walls, you see they're old, well made. There's a couple of areas nearby that would be like where torches would have been kept. However, there's not currently anything in there at the moment. But no, nothing really looks like it's anything different or anything stands out to you from the rest of the walls.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're at an impasse. Perhaps we should go back the other direction.
Yeah, at least see what our options are.
Yeah. All right. We start making our way back the other way. So we cut across the T and then to the right.
Okay, perfect. So you go back down the other way to the other hallway and make it down into another room. So as you walk into this room, Zero, the first thing you're going to spot is a large hole in the center of this room. And the next thing you get is a terrible, incredible stench as you kind of walk into this room. As before, it was a rotten meat smell. This one is far less palatable. And as you kind of move in, you realize that this is refuse. It's, this hole in the center has been used for goblins and whatever to relieve themselves without having to go outside.
Literally going to make a joke that this was a goblin toilet, but it seems I'm right.
You are definitely correct.
We're adventuring in a goblin bathhouse.
Yeah. In this room, there's basically that. There's some buckets of water.
How big did you say the room was?
It's a decent sized room, actually. It's about 30 feet wide, 35 feet wide, and 20 feet like further north.
Gotcha.
So if you enter, there's about 15 feet on either side of you, and then about 20 feet down. And the center's this hole. It's a decent sized hole. And then on the sides of the walls, there are little buckets. And then there is a hallway that leads out of this room off to the right, and heads back back down the other direction.
Yep. Okay. Oh God, this offends my sinuses.
My friends, maybe we should make haste. This place is a shithole.
Yeah. All right, looking down the corridor to the right, what do we see?
So you can see at the end of this corridor is a closed door. However, it's not like barricaded or blocked or anything like that.
It goes about how far to a closed door?
About 40 feet.
That's pretty far. Okay, got it. All right. Here it is. This should hopefully take us behind that other barrier. I suggest we proceed with caution now. Not that we haven't been, but
we are actively going to be cautious.
I do agree that we should approach cautiously.
I'm going to stand back here.
Let's do one more stealth roll since you guys are actively planning on being extra cautious for this. Let's try another stealth roll.
All right. 14, actually.
Nice.
Same.
18 here.
Okay.
Who's gonna roll one on us?
So you make your way slowly up to this doorway, and what do we like to do? It's like it's a solid doorway. It's nothing, in particularly opposing or
Can we hear anything behind it?
Was the door closed?
You pick up.
Okay.
Yeah. You pick up the same like guttural sounds that Zero had reported while investigating the other door, which you had come to, but this one.
Does the door open into the room or into the hall?
It would open. It would open into the room.
Okay. Well,
before we open the door, I don't remember if I had cast this previously. I think I did, but just to make sure that I have it stated, I am casting Mage Armor. I want to say that I did cast that beforehand, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. Yeah.
Okay.
So it'd still be active.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I have an ability called Snare, which I believe I could put right here in this doorway. And then someone, I can volunteer, could go and bang on the barricade. And then they're going to come out this way because this is an easier way to get out to come and get us. And I have Snare waiting for them.
It's a long run from that barricade to here. That assumes they don't come out the barricade. Like they don't. I mean, yeah, I don't think they can open that. But
Did you count your steps? Do you know how far it is?
it's at least 40. It's like at least 200 feet.
I can get 106 seconds. At least one. At least once.
Let's hold off on that. Let's just. I prefer a more straightforward approach here.
I am no stranger to the same.
Well, to be honest, I feel that now I'm not the smartest smartest man, the sharpest knife in the cupboard, but taking advantage of stealth and their unknowing would possibly be best still. I am for the snare tactic. We can snare him, and if there's anyone behind him, I can try to grab him with my magic and pull them to me. That way, one is hindered, and the other one we can attack all together.
Can I ascertain their numbers if they're humanoids? Because I'm trying to track them now that I can hear them.
Tracking and perceiving the numbers. Let's do another perception check.
Okay.
And we'll see. If it's really high, maybe I'll get you a numerical because you can differentiate the different voices.
I got 14. Let me also double check what my favorite enemy says exactly, because it's a little bit different in the revised range. Okay. So I get. You have advantage on survival checks to track your favorite enemies, as well as on intelligence check. No. That said you can also.
What are your favorite enemies again? Is it humanoid? I think it was.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll give you advantage on this just because we're kind of using it for that, and it would be a favorite enemy.
First roll was better with a 14.
Okay, 14 total, or
correct?
Yeah, you would not be able to kind of distinguish between the different voices. Just that there are guttural sounds as they converse on the other side, but you can't really through the door can't break up enough to tell how many are there.
All right, I tried. All right, so we're not certain of their number. At least more than one, because somebody's talking to something.
But if we just go in there, knives showing, I keep making modern terms. If we keep just going in there, head up our ass and just hoping to swing and hit the thing, it's possible that we'll end up being hit more. I think that we can try to take the advantage that we can obtain, which is the snare itself.
All right.
If you guys are for the more direct approach.
Let's give it a try.
Do you guys want to stay here, and then if something will be snared,
I
and
think
then you can attack whatever else, and then I'll just have to come back?
Yeah, I think you're the fastest one. He can pull anything to us, and then we'll go from there.
I have a big shiny light on me, so they'll see where I'm coming if I run.
So then I want to cast snare at the doorway. Which will take me 1 minute. Last 8 hours. And I'm going to use half of my rope to create it. 25 feet.
Okay.
And it's a 5-foot radius on the floor. And the rope disappears when I finish casting the spell, creating a magic trap. It's nearly invisible. Requires a successful intelligence investigation check against my spell save DC. have to look that up really quickly. And then I guess it'll matter when it triggers small, medium, or large creatures. Dex save. Or it'll be hung upside down 3 feet above the ground or floor. And it's the creature is restrained there until the spell ends, or you can take a dex save at the end of each of the turns. And then when I finish doing that, I will head down to the other end where the barricade door is.
Anyone who moves through, or are you able to like specify that your allies will be safe, or that since they know it's there, they're able to avoid it?
Yeah, I would have to show them where it's at because it says the trap triggers when a small, medium, or large creature moves onto the ground.
Okay.
So I can't say not. I just have to don't step there.
Okay.
Once it's done.
It's basically a glorified rabbit snatch.
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious. So, like, once it's there for 8 hours, and anything that moves into the range, then is snared or chance to be snared.
Yeah.
Okay. But they could spot it if they beat your spell DC.
With an investigation check, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
My DC should be this level 12.
Okay. So you take your minute and you set this up is it right in the doorway, or?
Yes, as much as I can. It has to be
Alright.
like a radius, so I don't think I can. I think it has to be a circle, so I try to put it as much as I can in the doorway. So as soon as I step out.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Perfect. So yeah, you've done this before, so you kind of know about where it's going to land. So that's set up. You tell your two friends where that would be, and they're standing, I'm assuming, just beyond, or are you guys further down the hall?
We'll even be a little bit further down the hallway. I don't know how long the range of your attack is, Kyle. I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
Sorry, I actually muted. My spell Lightning Lure goes about 30 feet, and I can pull them up to 25 feet to us. So it'll bring right to my feet, but it's 30 feet distance.
Okay, so we back up like 20 feet down the hall.
Okay. So you guys are back 30 or 20 feet down away from the door. Zero, you're going around and you're going to make some sort of noise on the actual door. All right. Cool. So, Zero pounds on the door, and very shortly, Zero is running down the hallway. Let's go ahead and roll initiative so that we can kind of get an order in which people are going to be moving.
I'm on 3.
Nice.
24.
Lucas at 17. We get 0 above that. 24. At 9, and we got 4 at Lucas. Verdon. All right. So yeah, 0 pounds on the door, and he starts like booking it, just full out sprint down the hallway. Lucas, you're kind of like sitting there waiting, and then the door springs open. You can spot 2 heavily armored humanoid figures, just kind of growling and looking, but they stop short. And one of them grabs the other one and like points down. Stop short. The other one that the one that spotted, kind of just steps back. The other one pulls out a longbow and looks down the hallway, seeing Ferridan, and he's going to swing. Sorry, I rolled really high for both my I rolled to see if they would be smart enough to look for something, and then I rolled for investigation. So I rolled 17 to see how smart they'd be, and a 19 on the investigation. So let's see. Oh, that's a great way to start off combat. There's a natural 20. Sorry, Ferdinand.
Why has it got to be me?
Well, I'm assuming you're standing in front of
I am.
the unarmored wizard.
Could I have,
where he is.
since we were waiting anyways, could I have held my action so I could have tried to grab him before he actually had a chance to shoot him?
You could hold your action so once you see him, but they'd still get their turn, and then you get to grab.
Yep. All right. How much damage?
So you take. Oh, I just threw my die across. We'll go with 10 points of damage as this arrow kind of slams into the side of your armor and kind of jolts your shoulder a little out of place.
Jesus Christ! More than a little out of place. That hurt.
Actually, you can drop that down 8 because I actually rolled a 2 on the ground, but I was assuming I'd roll at least average on that. 8.
All right. Still pretty hurt. Okay.
Yeah.
I was hurt before anyway.
The other one is standing back trying to get his bow out, but he used most of his momentum to alert his friend.
And what are they?
And let's see. Why don't give me some sort of roll, history or nature or something intelligence based.
Not even worth it. What I just rolled. Let's see. I'm just start rolling the big die.
So yeah, I mean, you can tell that they are some sort of humanoid creature. They're both heavily armored, though, and
bigger than a goblin.
Bigger than a goblin, yes. Yeah. They are similar enough, but they are not little goblins. No.
All right.
Okay. So, Lucas, if you held your action, you would be able to then pick one of these two and use your spell on them.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and try lightning lure the one that just fired the arrow and see if by pulling him it will activate the trap possibly.
Okay.
Because might as well try to get one stuck in the trap if we can. Oh, cocked. All right, that is 19 plus my 5, 24 to hit.
Okay, that will definitely hit. And Chad, what's the DC as far as your trap like catching somebody, or does it just automatically happen?
DC 12 dexterity save.
Let me see. Okay, so he does not pass that one. So as you pull this one, you're yanking him towards you, and he ends up kind of stalling in that doorway, being wrapped up and I think you said hung off the ground, right? They're 3 feet from the roof or something. So he's like by the feet, and he's hung up, and he's flailing around, like barely holding on to his bow.
And he also took 7 points of lightning damage.
7 points of lightning damage. Okay, so we get okay, perfect.
What? Yeah, they're broadcasting. Just came in and you're jamming.
Perfect. So next would be actually Ferdinand. So Carl, whenever you get a second,
yeah, I'm ready.
Talking to your wife.
I'm ready. I'm going to you know what? I'm going to cast Acid Splash on this guy. On the one that he just pulled forward, actually.
Okay. Cool. And that is what type of saving throw, I believe? Dex?
I don't believe dexterity saving throw, yeah.
Which, because he's restrained, he automatically fails.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't matter. Anyways, it says a bad roll. But Acid Splash, I believe, hits someone else within 5 feet.
I was going to ask how close the other guy was, because it'll hit the other guy too.
We'll go ahead and say he's close enough. So we'll roll for him. Oh, but he jumps out of the way. Like, he spots the acid splashing against his companion, and he kind of rolls around the side of the door and out of the way of the acid.
Okay, well, the one that it hits takes 6 points of damage.
Okay, and that one will kind of drop the bow that he's carrying and fall limp.
Okay.
And back to the top. Zero, you are probably about halfway there since you were able to sprint from the doorway. So let's see. Depending on the range of your weapon, if you have a bow or something, let's see, hundreds there. If you can move about 50 or whatever, then you could probably get a ranged attack in. The guy is kind of around the side of the door now, so he'd get some sort of cover. But
I would be hoping for that.
Shell?
My fighting style, I ignore at least half, up to half at least.
so you'll be fine. Yeah, you'll
And
be
then,
cool.
where would this go? And then he's already acted.
yeah.
Okay,
They've moved.
then I'll just get normal attack for 16.
16 will actually not hit.
All right. Kind of
Yeah,
winded, I guess.
Yeah, and it kind of clangs off the wall right near him. He has like a shield up and he's heavily armored and kind of just hiding behind the wall, and he's able to, you just barely miss. Like you were trying to thread the needle past the shield and like catch a soft part in the neck or something, and just barely clinks the side of the door and kind of angles off. Lucas
and
would be next.
Disappointment in myself, but I can't expect much more on a running shot.
All right. So since it looks like he's on the retreat, I'm going to go ahead and make it so that his retreat fails and try to grab him and pull him back towards us. I'm going to move the required distance to get him within 30 feet of me so I can pull him back to 25 feet.
Okay.
That's a 19 on the roll again, so that's a 24.
Killing it. All right. So it just
This time only one point of lightning.
What was that?
Sorry, only one point of lightning damage this time.
Okay. But you pull him towards you. He will be able to kind of dodge out of the way. Like he knew something was there before, but seeing his buddy get caught in that trap, even though you're pulling him in, he is able to kind of like shift. Like he pushes off the wall right as like the magical rope is going to go wrap him up and dodge out of it. So you have now successfully pulled a hobgoblin or this humanoid creature nice and close.
I knew
just in time for his turn to then swing at you. So he already had his shield and his longsword out, had his shield out to kind of protect himself. And now he will draw his longsword and swing at you. So that is an 18 to hit.
18 hit.
All right, and Max. So that's 9 points of damage as you pull him close, and he dodged off the side of the wall. His shield's up. You're yanking him in, and as he's doing that, he's drawing his longsword and using the momentum of you pulling him towards you to bring down his longsword and slash a nice gouge across your chest. Faradin, your colleague Lucas just took a nice blow.
Yeah, and he's right there, right? The hobgoblin.
Yeah, he's close enough. You'd be able to kind of move in.
I move in and attack him with my my longsword. This is going to be at +4. 21.
That will hit. Yeah.
Yep, and max damage, 10 points of damage.
That is exactly what you needed. So how do you take care of this creature?
So as I move in, as he pulls towards him, and then he hits my compatriot there with his sword, I just move up next to him and drive my sword in under his shield and in through his armpit, skewering him.
you'll see the light kind of shift out of his eyes, and he goes limp. And as you angle your sword down so that the weight of him doesn't do any damage, he just kind of slips off your sword and falls dead on the ground. All right, and you wait for a second. Nothing else seems to be coming through that doorway.
Okay.
Glad to have helped. Oh.
Yeah. I pull the arrow out of my arm. Yeah, they spotted your trap, by the way. I tell Zero. We're alive. They're not. So let us continue forward. Can we cross the area where your trap was before now?
I believe that I should be able to dispel it myself, or I can choose to cancel it.
I'd assume. I mean, I haven't read this specifics, but
it already says triggered.
What, like once it's triggered, is it done?
Yeah.
I think it's only a one-time trigger.
Okay.
I didn't think
the spell ends when no creature is restrained by it.
Okay.
So once that
so we move into the room where the hobgoblins came from.
All right.
Now, do we see the other side of the barrier?
Yeah, so you walk in the doorway, and it's almost a continuation from that. The right side of the wall continues like a solid wall there, and then you see a closed doorway over there. And even on that side, there are strips of boarding that are kind of going along the inside of it, nailed solid there, along with.
It's not like they could just open it from this side. Not without a lot of work.
Yeah, it would have taken a lot of work, but their main thing, it looks, they didn't want anyone to be able to come in that direction, controlling the direction of, contact
through the toilets.
Yeah, through the toilets, and through the other rooms and everything. But that way there's not.
I take a look at the obsidian ring. Does this look like a toilet seat that would go?
I mean, 10 inches. I mean, maybe for little things, maybe for goblins. I don't know.
I don't know how big that hole was. I'm just saying.
Oh man. But as you walk in this room, you see paintings and books that are kind of like laying around this room. They're kind of like strewn around, like they're continuing whatever they're searching for. They've now pulled like all the paintings and all the books off, and they're kind of looking around. So there's that door that's barricaded off to the right, but as you enter the room, straight ahead, there's another doorway there.
Okay.
It also appears to be closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else about the room before we?
So at first glance, that's what you see, like books and paintings and stuff kind of strewn all over the room.
I'd like to kind of look through the books, examining those and potentially the paintings for any type of value, like if I can assess the value of the paintings or anything.
Okay. So
probably a history check of some kind or something.
Yeah. First, let's look for investigation, I would say, just to kind of get a general sense of what's in the room. You can take advantage because I'm assuming someone's helping you.
Okay. 21.
Okay. So, as you look through, so you're kind of scanning through these books and these paintings, and they've been pretty well thrashed. Like they've been cut open.
Okay.
They've been torn apart. So whatever they were looking for, they felt were far more valuable than whatever would have been here. So
and
from
small,
just looking,
and small enough to be hidden in a book.
Yeah. So I mean, these are books. They're not like our modern day books either, though. You figure they're tomes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they're some of them are a foot across or so.
But I mean, they're not looking for a two-handed axe. You know what I'm saying?
No, they're not looking for something that big. They are looking at something that could fit in a tome. But as you kind of search through, you do find like bags and things that would appear to have been belonging to these two creatures that were in here. And for the most part, they're like rations and things like that. Nothing that strikes you like the rations or whatever. They're dried meats and things that like a goblinoid would like.
Any coins or anything?
Yeah, actually, as you kind of get through and you're pulling things out, just like, oh, what the hell's in here? You come across in each of their bags, they have 2 smaller like leather pouches, each one containing 50 gold pieces.
All right. So we split 100 3 ways. I'll take 33. Somebody else can have the 34.
Let's see. Do we have light? We have light in the room.
Mm-hmm.
As you look at the coins, we will notice, given your investigation check, we'll just continue that on. You'll notice that they are not from Valermont. They're not from this island.
Okay. So they somehow. Okay. Yeah. Well, we could make an assumption that these guys came from a different island, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Could I try to confirm where they may have come from?
That's good. That's a good point.
Yeah. Being a person that's sailed around, I might have dealt with different coins.
They're stamped. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. I actually think I'm
with the Elven Nation, so yeah, maybe I did too. Yeah, I'll take a look as well.
Depending on the roll, I might just give you advantage again.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. I'm gonna think. It's hard. I guess history. I mean, it's kind of hard to have a modern day thing.
I think we'll go. I think history is probably relevant. Okay. I actually have history as a skill.
I will give you advantage as I still have a -1.
And I'm at +5 on this roll. So that's going to be a 16.
Okay. Yeah. So for a 16, you would definitely know that it is not from this island, and that you would recognize them. Sorry, I kind of on the fly added in these parts, so I did not have the island name.
Oh, you never say that.
I know.
So we'll just say another island.
Yeah, another island that I will disclose as you guys get to a more secure location.
Sure, sounds good. I took down a note.
From an island called Desland.
I don't know. That sounds kind of made up.
Up is my home brew. Yeah, Desland. DES. Desland.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So yeah, and as you kind of rummage through this area, that's about all you've discovered. Fairly certain that's the totality of the worth in this room.
Should we?
And these hobgoblins were using longbows, correct?
Yeah, they had longbows upon them.
I'm going to go ahead and trade out the short bow I stole from a goblin to upgrade to hobgoblin longbows.
All right. Yeah, they're sturdy longbows, nothing extravagant, but decent enough make.
This will be better.
I kind of.
I'm going to take their arrows because technically the arrows are different.
Yeah. You'd find enough to fill a quiver, say 20 or so good enough quality arrows that you would want to take.
I move over to the other door across the way and listen at it.
Okay. You move up to the other door and it is quiet. You don't hear anything. Like you kind of put your ear up against it and nothing.
Okay.
I'm going to let you guys know I don't think I'm going to be pulling any more closer to me.
Okay, probably a good idea.
I do have some other tricks. I have the ability to make someone not be able to move very quickly. Using Ray of Frost, I can slow people down. Mm-hmm. Or I can decide to do more damage with my lightning. And these are little things that my ability has had. So whichever
We
you
ha-
think is the best.
We had a healer last game, right? Last round.
No, actually, all you had was I think each of you had a healing potion.
Yeah, I think we blew through those already.
I sacrificed mine to a pregnant woman that got pulled out of a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Brownie-
definitely,
killed.
and I definitely needed mine when I decided to go naked fighting. So. Okay.
That's the
Do you need to borrow
wizard
mine?
thing. Stop naked fighting.
Oh, do you still have yours, Zero?
If you are in need, we are getting through this
How
together.
how wounded are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm missing 7.
I'm at 17 off of my 25.
I'm at 13 off of my 25.
26 of my 33.
You're most likely going to be.
And I'm also most likely one that's going to take the damage. So
Yeah, they like you.
yeah.
Carl, sorry. What is your Constitution modifier?
+1.
+1. And you're a fighter, so you're D10.
Yep.
Right. You may have missed. I told everyone that they get max for the first 3 hit point.
Oh, I thought it was
levels.
I thought it
So
was
you
max
would be
just for the first one. So I'm actually at 33.
Normally, yeah, you'd be at 33 minus whatever you're saying.
Yeah, so I'm at 30. Okay, so hold on. So that gives me actually another 8. So I'm actually at 21, guys. Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
I'll fix that in my character.
Yeah, no problem.
I thought I had 25.
Remember, I have this if we're in need.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's hold on to it now.
Indeed.
If we have an emergency, we'll use it. I
just thought I saw a tear, so I was wondering.
Oh, you did.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. It hurt.
All right.
You seem with a renewed vitality. From
I feel
someone.
much better. Add my hit points up.
Quick math. I was like, wait a minute. There's no way you have the same hit points as our ranger sorcerer.
Yeah, no, I hadn't. I only took max for the first.
Yeah, it's traditional. I just figured that given what I was going to throw at people, I figured I'd give you guys the first 3 levels. And then after that, we can either do average or roll.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, give you a little bit of a start. All right, so you're in this room, and there's one door that you've kind of listened at, but don't hear anything on the other side.
Well, I say we continue forward.
Same marching order.
All right. You want to open that door?
Do we? Is that one barred in any way?
Nope. It's just straight across from us. Well, it may be barred on the other side. We don't know.
It
Yeah,
may
from
also
your side, you don't see any impediment.
So it looks like we can just. Is there like a knob that we're turning, or?
Yeah, it's more like a handle, like an old school like iron handle on the door. But yeah,
What if somebody else opens the door? And
I'll
I
open
go
it.
through.
Yeah. All right. I'll get ready to pull the door open. When you're ready, give the nod.
you'll notice that it, like the other ones, will open
Pat you.
inward.
I go ahead and open it.
And I'll
All right,
push
so as you push it forward, a loud creaking sound, kind of the hinges obviously have not been oiled, and it's nice and loud as you kind of push it. Zero sliding in. There's a large desk that's taking up most of the room, or most of the right hand side of the room. It's a very like rich wood. You notice it's far more lavish than most of the other areas that you've come across. On the left-hand side, you see a cylindrical pedestal that's made out of obsidian with the. We'll get to that. In the middle of the room, you see a large cloaked figure is kind of like kneeling down silently, facing the wall. Although he's starting to turn as this door opens and it creaks. His hand is on the head of a large warg.
Oh,
similar to the ones you guys saw earlier. In front of him is what looks like an excavation site. Like they've been kind of most of the stone wall has been picked away, leading to a door blacker than anything you've ever seen.
oh.
As the creature stands up, he turns and looks. You cannot be in here. It's mine. All mine. It can't be stopped. I'll find them all, and I will be eternal. And let's roll initiative.
Ah, crap. All right. Come on.
17.
Let me roll the big die. Oh, sweet. That big die works pretty good. I don't care.
Been using the whole game.
I don't care what people say about countdown dice. Okay, I am at 19.
Ditto.
Okay, so we've got. Ooh, this is interesting. So we've got Ferritin and 0. 0 and 19.
What does the guy look like again? Like, can you give me?
So he's cloaked. He's a cloaked figure. Let's see, what was it? It's a heavy cloak on, but as he kind of like stands and turns, you see he's got very similar, although a little bit more innate, heavy armor, shield, and he's drawing out a longsword. He looks very much like the two that you just dispatched, but a little bit bigger, stronger.
But he's a hobgoblin.
Yes.
Okay.
And Lucas, your initiative was
17.
17. Okay.
Yeah, we're moving quick this round.
We've got.
All
right. So 0 and Ferritin, you both notice that this guy is going to draw his longsword. He does not look like he is ready to banter, but you both react equally as speedy, and it's up to you guys. Whoever goes first, since you're tied initially.
What's your dexterity? Probably higher than mine.
16.
Yeah, you go first.
All right. How far away is this?
He's in the center of this room, but it's really only about 10 or 15 feet from you.
All right.
And where's the portal again, or the blackness door?
So the black door is about 10 or 15 feet behind him now. So
on the wall,
straight ahead from the doorway that which you entered.
Got it. Okay.
I'm going to just try to dash by and
Oh, this particular room does have, I forget to mention, does have torches that have been lit that they're using to try to like crack whatever secret is here. And for that, even though they have dark vision, they're trying to actively search a little bit better in this room. So there are torches.
But it's just him and the warg, right?
Yep, there's just the two creatures in here. There's the warg and the hobgoblin leader.
I'm going to Zephyr Strike. I do believe.
Ooh, that one's nice.
Okay, it's a bonus action and concentration. I won't provoke an attack of opportunity, and I'm going to give myself advantage. Well, he hasn't acted yet anyways, right?
No, he's not.
I have advantage against him anyway. But I can do an extra D8 rather
Cool.
you hit or miss. Oh, and I'm fast. So I'm going to strike him with that.
Is that something special you have that if he hasn't acted, you get advantage, or is that a standard rule? I don't know.
The ranger?
That's a ranger thing for him.
First round of combat, if it hasn't acted, you get advantage.
Nice. Thanks.
A revised ranger.
I think it's called Dread Ambusher.
Yeah. That's only an 11 for the first one.
Yeah, he will raise his shield and bat away your attack.
I prefer the darkness. And I also get an additional attack from Dread Ambusher,
Okay.
and that's still at advantage. Not much better for 12.
Yeah, no. He's able to, he bats away the first one, and his longsword comes up and knocks away your second attack. He seems rather adept and handy with his weapons.
I tried.
I move up.
Durban.
Yep, I move up quickly, kind of taking an opposite position of Zero, flanking the guy if possible.
Yeah, sure.
And I will go ahead and attack him with my longsword.
Take your advantage on that.
Oh, good, because that wasn't good. Oh, crit.
All right. Very nice. So go ahead and roll your damage dice twice. Add your modifier.
So a total of 6 and 6 is 12 plus 2. So we're looking at 14 points of damage.
All right. 14.
As I move in to attack him, I give him like a little elven salute.
And he kind of is distracted by Zero's initial attacks, and you move in almost simultaneously, and he sees your salute, but then your strike comes almost faster than he was expecting it to.
Damn right it does.
Find that kind of chink in his armor, and it
went faster than I
blade
expected
sinks-
it to, too.
blade sinks like deep into his shoulder, and you see blood, this kind of a dark ichor, start like dripping down as you withdraw your blade.
Nice.
Lucas. Oh wait, no, sorry. Me. Hobgoblin goes. I gotta read my own things. So he is going to spin on Faraday. Sorry,
Yeah,
but you
you
actually did damage.
Yep. Bring it.
And that
I just
would
realized
be,
I have more hit points. Bring it.
that'd be a 19 to hit.
I realize I have fewer hit points now.
With his long
You gotta
sword.
continue to bring it. You have brought enough.
All right. But the pain in his arm makes it hard for him to swing with like real strength, and he only kind of like bites in and just like slashes across the outside of one of your arms, doing 3 points of damage.
Nice.
He
All right.
attempts to swing back with his longsword for a second strike, but you saw this one coming. You already
Block it with my shield.
gauged it, and you're able to shove it aside with your shield. And Lucas is now in the hallway.
All right. The warg that he had, did you say he had a warg in this room as well? Is it currently chained as well? Is it roaming free?
Yeah, no, it is free, and it is next to him, and it is starting to rise. It was a little slower to react than he was, but he is still there.
And does he by chance look winded from the assault so far?
The warg?
No, the hobgoblin.
A hobgoblin? He looks pretty confident in his ability to withstand this attack at this moment.
Okay. Since he doesn't seem too worried about it, I'm going to go ahead and focus on him. That way we can try to knock him off his pedestal. I am going to pull free from my coat a single diamond worth 50 GP, and as I bring my hand over it, a pool of water seems to etch away from it, and in this ball of water, sparks of electricity start coming forth. I throw it straight for him.
Magic orb. Nice.
That's 13 plus 5 is 18 to hit.
That barely hits.
All
It
right.
comes in, and he goes to block it, but it able to kind of like come right in and slam into him, hitting his chest.
So that's 13 plus my charisma due to my lightning curse. So 16 points of lightning damage done to him.
Nice. Yeah, he snarls as lightning just kind of bolts across the front of his metallic armor and kind of stiffens up a little bit at this blow. The warg rises and
I just go sit.
Yeah.
See if that works.
Dogs are psst, psst. Yeah, so it's going to focus on this range.
Sorry, just before you have him attack, I'm using my bonus action to get one first level spell back.
Okay. So the warg will rise and he focuses on the ranger that's now behind his master, and he's going to attempt to bite this ranger as he moves around. That's not so great. That would be a 17 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, that looks like that hits. Ooh, these things bite hard. That'd be 10 points of damage as he bites down and like he bites on your calf and he starts yanking at it. I'll need a strength saving throw as he's trying to drag you onto your back. You barely are able to keep your footing as this warg yanks at you, and you're able to kind of like swat at it hard enough that it like rears back, getting ready for another attack. However, you will get to go before him, so it is your turn, Zero.
Oh, I've seen better days.
Watch yourself.
I'm going to. How big is the room? The entire room?
It's not massive. It's about
It's got to be like
30
35 feet across. Yeah.
yeah, it's about. It's
He was
about
only
like a 30
15 feet away from us.
Yeah.
30 by 30?
Yep.
Is that what we said?
Yeah.
I guess I will Misty Step away from them to the far corner, and then draw my longbow and pop off a shot at
All right.
I gotta go with I guess the warg in this case.
Okay.
That's not pretty. No, that's not. That's 9.
Yeah, no. The warg took him a second to get where you landed, but he's able to kind of like hone in on you and sees the arrow coming and is able to kind of duck back, and it goes past him, clattering against the stones. Faradin, you are next.
He's not flanked anymore, so all right. Well, again, have at the hobgoblin. Another good roll. That's going to be a total of 22, so that hits for 6 points of damage this time.
All right, nice.
If the warg moves away from me, am I going to get an attack of opportunity, or away towards 0? Am I going to get an attack of opportunity, or like if I slide 5 feet over to get in its threat range? Well, I want to force it so that if it moves, I'm going to get a swing at it.
Yeah, no, he's in a position that yes, if he moves away, you will get an attack of opportunity.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he was kind of like right next to his master. So
Got it. Yeah. So I was going to say, like, even if I had to 5 foot step it to the side,
yeah,
staying within,
be fine.
So I didn't draw. Okay, go.
All right. So the hobgoblin is going to rear back, and now that he only has one target easily at hand, he's going to swing at both of you, or both of his
attacks at me.
Well, one's definitely going to miss. The other one is a lowly. That one's only a 14.
I'm at
pretty
18,
sure that misses.
18 armor class.
Yeah. Yeah. So he swings twice at you, but he is starting to look visibly hurt, and obviously it's starting to wear on him as he's unable to get past your well-crafted defenses.
That's right.
Between your shield and your sword.
That's how we train.
Lucas.
Since it worked so well last time, let's go ahead and give him another chromatic orb as I keep dancing that diamond around in my hand. This attack, this time I only rolled a 15.
15 total?
Yep.
Yeah, so this time it comes and he knows this trick and he's able to kind of dodge out of the way, and it goes past him and sparks clatter against the black wall behind him.
Shit.
The warg now turns his attention towards the fighter that is engaged with his master and seeks to eliminate one of the threats here. Ooh, yeah, so it bites down pretty hard.
All right.
And does 9 points of damage as it bites down, kind of like right about your calf area. And
I let out a scream of pain as it bites into my leg.
And
bat its head away.
Throw.
Strength saving throw, huh?
Yeah.
What do I need to beat?
13.
Plus 4. 13. Oof, that's not going to do it. 6.
All right, so it bites in and it yanks hard, pulling you down to the ground.
All right.
You're now prone.
Yep.
0, it is your turn to act.
We are in this together, my friend. And I will
get this furry thing off me.
I'm gonna charge it, and oh man, I guess I'm gonna shoot at it and then charge it. So I'm gonna shoot first for 18.
Yeah, which are you going for, the warg or the?
Yes, please.
Yeah, 18 will hit. I'm gonna hit either. I just want to know whose hit points I'm taking off.
11.
All right, yeah. So it kind of howls in pain as it.
At least its howl makes it let go of my leg.
Yeah, it does. It rears back a little bit, and you take that opportunity to pull your leg free, and you're charging in, right? 0.
Yeah, I'm gonna move in, and then since it's a light weapon, could I pull my dagger in bonus action?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
Normally not, but let's do it. Sounds good.
For 17.
Yeah, that'll bite in too.
For 6 more damage.
Oh, damn. Starting to tear into this warg. It's looking pretty bloody, but it is still standing, growling, ready to defend his master.
Okay.
Faradin.
Yeah, so I'm prone, you say. Standing up will...
just half your movement.
Half my movement. So that's fine. I climber up to one knee and then stand, and as I stand, I swing my sword in an uppercut at the hobgoblin again. Plus 4, 19. So that should hit.
Yep, that'll do it.
Unfortunately, only 5 damage though.
Okay. He growls in pain as your blade comes up and kind of knocks him back a little bit.
I call this death by 1,000 cuts. Except I say that in Elven.
And it's going to...
That's right.
It's going to swing at you. Ooh, yeah, it's going to bite in with his long sword, returning the cut. Ooh, but not so mightily. It's going to do 2 points of damage.
Oh, thank God.
But he uses the momentum, and he's spinning to also then go after 0 as well. Oh. But he's not able to. 0's a little too fast and sees the telegraphed movement and ducks down, the blade going over his head. Lucas.
well around as I put away the gem, and I bring out my hands, and sigils start appearing above my head as small portals, and then propel themselves forward. I'm doing magic, hitting him with all three.
Is it just me, or did he totally like chop either?
Yeah, he went robot-y, but he's casting magic missile.
Oh. Okay. You guys just don't get my epic form of it. So that was force damage.
We need the remix version.
Can you type in the force damage? Because I couldn't get that out of there. I know you do like this epic description of how you're casting the spell, and all we get is up. I was like, oh man, he's trying really hard, and the computer just ain't cooperating. All right, 14. That's a good freaking damage. He staggers back as blow after blow of these missile force slams into him. Not used to fighting against magic, apparently, and he is looking on his last legs. But he's not done yet. The warg will spin, and he's going to go after Zero, the one who's done quite a bit of damage. 16, I believe, does hit. It's got a beefy little plus here. Ooh. And that will be 13 points of damage as it bites down. That was close to max. And DC 13 strength check. As the ward just senses that both of them are on their last legs, turns, bites into you, hoping to turn the tide, and yanks you to your back.
Nope.
But now you get to act. The warg almost immediately lets go. It seems like his tactic is he yanks you down and gets ready to move in for another attack, but you are too quick and you get to go 0. If you're still up.
Push off of his weight with what little strength I can muster and reach for this potion that's handy.
Good choice.
Dandy. And take it down. For minimum of 4 hit points.
Better than 0. No pun intended. How damaged does this hobgoblin look at this point? You're muted, Bill.
Well, darn. Assume I said something rather epic, but both are on their last legs here.
I'm okay. So seeing him Zero drink the potion, I call upon my Elven Eldritch Knight training, point at the hobgoblin and fire magic missile at the hobgoblin.
Nice.
For a total of 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage.
All right. How does it look?
Three
bolts of force take him down.
3 glowing green bolts of force spring out from my hand, striking him one after another. Thud, thud, thud into his chest.
Nice. And he staggers back, taking a step back, and then falls to his knees, looking kind of shocked, like can't fathom how he has been bested by such puny little humans. But then he falls face first, life out. Lucas, your turn. There's just the warg now sitting there growling, looking even angrier.
All right. Since I'm at first level spells, I'm now going to cantrips. And I'm going to point to the ward. And I think you need to. I'm going to use Ray of Frost. Pun totally intended. Natural 20.
Nice. Roll it up.
Nice.
Perfect timing.
That is points of ice or frost damage.
What was the total damage? Because, again. Nine. Oh, you know what? 9 is what you needed. So how does it look as you freeze this warg?
I'm going to try not go robot on you guys. But basically, I say, you need to chill. Just freezes.
Yeah, you fail. You failed to not go robot.
Yeah. So yeah, it freezes solid and it kind of wobbles there and then falls over, shattering into a million pieces as it clatters and is destroyed. All right. So you're able to kind of catch your breath and you realize that you're now alone in this room and alive. Well done.
And that black portal is still there, yeah?
Yeah, so it's a black door. It's like solid, like a solid black.
Oh, okay.
Wall,
okay.
Yeah.
I am
this
really wounded. Let's what else is in the room? Like they were searching for something.
Yeah. So there is a pedestal.
You can look around.
Yeah, you guys noticed just walking in. You noticed that there is an obsidian pedestal there. You notice that there's a large table off on the right-hand side of the wall area. It looks like they had been excavating the wall area, and they came to this black wall, this black doorway area that is just this dark black area. But without further investigation, that is what you found.
Right. Okay. Searching the hobgoblin himself, like I kick his body over and then kind of look at the quality of his weapon and search him for anything else. Any pouch, anything.
So figure you kind of thoroughly go through this hobgoblin stuff. There's a couple things that will strike your notice. The first is longsword. It is nicer than the other ones. It's not like necessarily elaborate or extravagant, but it is nicer than the others and strikes you as something a little bit more like uniform. So that kind of catches your notice. And then the other thing that kind of gets your attention is the cloak that he is wearing. Seems somewhat intriguing. Given your background, you would probably kind of spot. Sorry for the noise as I move things around. Spot that it is maybe not just like a normal travel cloak.
Okay. Well, we'll remove that from him and remove the sword. What kind of armor was he wearing?
He is wearing chainmail.
Okay. But I'm not too interested in smelling like a hobgoblin.
Yeah.
You said there was a pedestal.
Yep, there is a pedestal. If you walk over to the pedestal and you kind of look at it, it is a black obsidian pedestal, and there is with a circular hole cut out in the top of the pedestal.
Does it look like that obsidian thing would fit in this hole?
It would probably seem very close. Yeah.
It's their obsidian cracker.
Yeah, it's the obsidian toilet seat will fit in this hole. I say, I don't know that we should.
Is this like something it falls like it
Like I
Is
think
it
you could
perfect?
set it right in it, right? Like it's
Yeah.
10 inches across, it would just set in it. I wonder if this opens that door. Clearly something would happen.
Apparently, mortality waits for puts it in. That seems like something that would probably be not safe to deal with.
Yeah.
I'd at least like to catch my breath.
I agree with you
Before we
100%.
go.
I think we should look, I feel like we've, and taking a look at the map I've sketched, like it appears we have seen every room here. I think we could safely rest here if we shut that door and kind of hold up here for a little bit. What do you guys think?
I would.
I think that should be fine. And to go back real quick, I don't inspect the hobgoblin if it means better protection. So I think he doesn't deserve this. And I start stripping the hobgoblin of his stuff.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you can definitely get yourself a set of chainmail. He has a shield, longsword, and then he would also have been carrying a longbow on him as well. So you're able to fill up whatever arrows or whatever you want from there. And so the plan is to, after he loots this goblin, anything else we're going to do before getting ready to, I'm assuming, a short or maybe a long rest here.
Can't wear.
I feel fairly confident we could take a long rest at this point.
Maybe
Okay.
2 shifts.
Yeah. You want me to take the first watch?
Um,
I'm actually probably one of the most. Well, how wounded are you?
I'm down to 7.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Why don't I go ahead and take the first watch? You guys rest.
I will prepare.
I
will
need
play
to
a
take
haunch for you.
the
Well, I think we've already established.
because I need a full.
Yeah.
You can
Oh,
probably
we do have
sleep
2
the-
elves.
hour rest.
Yeah.
So
You
the
could probably
elves
sleep
only
the whole
really need
time.
4 hours.
Right. I only
And
need
me
the
and
4
him can
hours.
just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in order
Are
for
you
them to
calling
get
me
there.
So actually,
you sound lazy.
the smart thing to do would be to have me rest first, because after 4 hours, I'm good.
You rest. I'm gonna cook us a meal to eat
All right, let's do that.
because I
I'll
promised
rest.
everyone a meal, and then
Sounds good.
I'll take over after that.
All right. So you're able to like gather enough stuff, start a little fire, put some food on, and you guys are able to kind of bar the door, settle down, and take a nice long rest. And I think at that point we should take a short break, use a restroom, get water.
Sounds good.
Whatever else you guys want, for about 5 minutes or so. Come back and we'll continue on. See what happens.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Right back.
All right. Well, I fixed my robot voice.
You might get more bandwidth if you turn off the video, but
Yeah, or just adjust your bandwidth down a little bit. I dropped mine down to low right now because I was having issues earlier.
Well, I originally had it low, so I guess I'll drop it to very low. If nothing else, I'll go with just audio.
Yeah. Worst comes to worst, I've had to do that on some games. Just for whatever reason, like I have decent internet, but like because I guess there's other like signals in the area or whatever, it gets really slow at certain times.
All right.
peak hours.
All right, I'm gonna go get some water.
All right, I'll be right back.
Dang.
And back. Welcome back.
I'm back.
Yeah. By water, mostly I meant I needed to make another martini.
I actually got water.
I got that too. But that was secondary.
Actually, I got to open this door so my dog can come in
Yeah. I turned the gain up on this mic so much because when I was playing earlier, or when I was talking earlier to Kyle, he's like, "Yeah, I can barely hear you." So I was in my kitchen shaking my martini up, and my computer was like, "You need to unmute if you want someone to hear you."
here. Yeah.
No. It's not that. Let's see. Oh, that was what I was looking at. Why don't you who searched? Carl, you searched them, right? Roll me. I don't know. Roll me a dice. Basically, I'm looking for one or two, like whatever however you want to divide it, odds or evens or whatever.
I'm not following you. I rolled an 11. I don't know what that means.
Okay, that would be
That's odds.
yeah, that'll be odds. So you get the first. All right, I had two options that I was deciding between.
Oh, gotcha.
On something. So I was trying to like figure out which way to go, and you rolled my initial inclination, but I came across something else. I was like, oh, maybe that. But yeah. It's tasty. So you guys will end up getting your full rest. I know he's not back, but so go ahead and fix your hit points,
Done.
regain half hit die if you used any last time, and spell slots or whatever.
Okay.
Were you focusing on anything that you found or like investigating further the room or anything like that?
Yeah. While the others rest after my short, because it only takes me a couple hours, I'm gonna kind of walk around the room, seeing if any walls seem fake or anything. Looking for any secret doors.
Okay. Really quick, we get everyone back, so go ahead and do a quick introductions. I'm Bill. I'm running this game. You can find me on a couple other online games. One would be on a Roll channel here on YouTube. So that would be Tyler Hurst, and that would be the Tales of Tumultier campaign. Hopefully that should be getting back up another session soon. And then again, another one that's been off for a little while, Dragging in Chronicles over at the RPG Construct, Drake Warren's channel here on YouTube. Kyle, if you're ready, if you want to just introduce yourself, whatever you want to plug, if anything.
I don't have anything really to plug. I do one-offs online, but I don't have channels myself. But I'm Kyle. I'm playing Lucas Fair, Sorcerer Ranger, and so far I'm having fun. That's all.
All right, that's what happens when you use the wrong thing to mute yourself.
There you go.
Chad, you go ahead and say hello.
I'm Chad Smith. I guess I have a channel that's under my name, Chad Smith. Mostly games that I've played in. I'll be hopefully throwing something on there soon of where I'm actually DMing. Having a good time. Hopefully, over the span of this whole thing, how it develops and investigating the Shattered Lands.
Nice. Last but not least, Carl.
And I am Carl Tuttle. If you're into Warhammer 40,000, I run the Independent Characters Warhammer 40,000 podcast, which is probably one of the larger, if not the largest, 40K podcasts out there these days. I've been playing D&D in its various iterations for about, almost 40 years now. And so really enjoying 5th edition, still kind of learning the ins and outs of it, but really enjoying Bill's game here so far. So yeah, that's it. That's me. You can find more at theindependentcharacters.com.
Sweet. Awesome. I don't know if anyone's ever going to watch this, but cool.
Hey,
give everyone a chance.
there if it's there.
Carl.
Yeah.
Since Ferritin was exploring this room further, if you want to give me an investigation check, we can go ahead and give you advantages.
For the all
you guys are resting while I'm doing this, so I probably don't get that advantage. And as a result, I don't find Jack with that roll. A 1 is not going to find me anything.
Oh yeah. Somehow you're even missing things that you had found before.
That roll. Like, wait a minute. Didn't I already search this wall? I don't know.
Where'd the little obsidian disc go?
Trying to ascertain some information on these humanoids.
Okay. Sure. Let's go for investigation. Oh wait. You are.
Oh, and I had misheard originally. You said that the armor was chainmail, correct?
Yep. I think that's 16.
All right. I stole some used. So I guess that's going to be sold.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know about your strength. 15. All right. Yeah, so amongst the things you kind of shimmy through, trying to think of what we get. On the hobgoblin itself, as you would notice, since you're familiar with hobgoblins and goblinoid creatures and humanoid creatures in general being your favorite enemy, you would notice just like the hue of the skin of the hobgoblin, it's not that of one from this general area. Like there are some hobgoblins that would be found amongst the islands immediately surrounding here, Valermont. You kind of realize that it's not from these islands anyways. You're not exactly sure which island it would come from, but it does not seem to be a typical breed that would be found within these lands.
More pieces to the same puzzle.
All right.
Along with the coin. Cool.
Yeesh.
Well, are we ready to put this circlet on this pedestal?
I guess we're ready as ever, as I cast mage armor on myself again.
Should one of us wait in the hall just outside the room while we do this? Just in case?
I step outside the hall because it's going to explode.
I don't think that'll happen, but you never know, and we may need somebody to recover us in the event that we're wounded.
I hold up my rock and cast light.
As you approach the pedestal, now that you kind of have your wits about you, you do notice that there is a small like chest-like object tucked up against the wall in the back along the pedestal side, and it was dark in that area because of where the torches are.
I was focusing on the other wall. What happened?
Yeah, you're looking at the one with the door, but you notice that there's like a little chest down there, and there's been like.
I pointed out to Zero. I say, "Okay, hold on a second. What's that?"
Very interesting. I'd like to examine this.
Yeah, let's wait and let you check that out.
Okay. So there will be a. Feel free to give an investigation check. If you two are working together, then someone can roll at advantage, which I think that puts it back in Faraday's court. Lucas, are you still in the hallway?
Yes.
Okay. Just trying to get
I got a 16.
Okay.
I'm taking it.
I do become confused when I don't hear anything happen.
Yeah. All of a sudden it gets quiet. Well, so it appears to be a chest that does not really appear to be locked, as far as you can tell. But it's not really your forte. But it appears to be a nice little, and it's small. It's like a, I don't know, like a little box, you know, little 6x4 box sort of thing.
It does not appear to be locked, but I'd probably be better with that. And I guess since we're doing daring things, I'll open it up.
All right.
Maybe at a distance.
Yeah. You hear a loud noise. It sounds like an explosion coming from the other side of the structure. And it seems to be getting closer and closer and closer.
Wait, the other side of what structure?
So towards the entrance direction that you guys entered this facility from, there's like
I turn around and
explosions that you
go.
can hear. Are you running back into the room or out towards
I
the
am,
sound of the
because that
explosions?
sounds like it's coming to me.
Yeah. It is getting closer, and you would probably hear it first and feel everything rumble. And as you run back into the room, dust starts billowing down the hallway, getting pushed out and filling your room.
Does this feel unrelated to the opening of the chest? I mean, like, or did it happen exactly the same time?
It happened about exactly the same time, and as Zero kind of gets past the initial shock, he notices that he missed a little like pressure plate in there, and that when he opened it, he was unable to keep that pressed, and it set off this explosion.
Oh,
I think we may be locked in here.
perhaps.
So yeah, you now notice that the doorway is covered with rubble, and however, at the bottom of the chest there is a red, about an inch long, so a decent size ruby that's like placed inside a nice, like, has a gold like framing around it. It's like gripping the ruby.
Would you like to give that a second check?
Could I like just dump it into the previous coin bag that I got before?
Well, the chest itself, like, and now that you're actually trying to pick it up, you notice that it's kind of like affixed to the ground, and it's part of this whole mechanism that set off the explosion. But the ruby's sitting in there.
I've seen something like this before. And I'm gonna use the edge of my cloak to like grab it and then put it into my coin bag.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to. Nothing adverse seems to happen as you pick it up and drop it into your coin bag. And now you're in this room. The dust has settled, but it appears that perhaps the only direction out would be to figure out what's going on with that pedestal.
Looking again at the ring in my hand, I'll kind of look at you guys and then walk over to the pedestal, and I'm going to place the ring in the pedestal.
Okay. As you fix the stone in, it almost seems to fit perfectly, like such a small amount of distance between each piece. It slides in, and as it drops in, it appears that almost like it's perfectly smooth, and that there's was never really much of a crack there. Unless you were an expert with stonework, you wouldn't notice. But as it clicks in, there's a rumble from that wall now
Yep.
to your right as you're facing the pedestal, and the door that was there starts to slowly click down until there's now a portal there, an opening that's, though it was black from the stone before, is dark now just because of the depths, as you see a set of stairs leading further down into the mountain.
Oh. So when you say a portal, you just mean literally like a doorway,
Just literally this time. Just literally
not a
doorway.
magical portal.
No.
Let's not do multiverse.
Well, I mean, who knows where it takes you, right?
Not yet.
All right. Well, stairs.
I mean, it could still be a portal to somewhere, and we just think it's a doorway that goes down stairs.
Well, I think if we let our imaginations run away with us, we could think that. Perhaps we should just go down the stairs.
I'm not against that, seeing as it's the now only way out.
Yes. Lead on, Zero.
Yes, as options are running thin.
All right.
As
we
you
Do
move
so
down the
cautiously.
stairs.
Yeah, as you make your way down the stairs, you notice that the air is stale, old. It's like that. You open a room that hasn't been opened in years. However, this may have been thousands of years. So that very musty smell. Continue down. You notice there's a bridge that will then lead out across this large, seems like endless gaping pit that leads to a platform out there with bridges on the other side, a bridge on the other side as well. And on this platform are 4 large sarcophaguses that are laying down,
Oh,
on their back.
well, this looks inviting.
Yes.
How is he going to get immortality from dead people?
Is that what he said he was after? I missed that.
He said something about eternal life.
This is true.
We were interrupting this. Yeah.
I was expecting, a fountain of water that gave you youth back or something.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Mhm.
So again, there's a bridge that leads across to, and on the other side we see the 4 sarcophagi.
Yeah, so you get to the bottom of the stairs, and there's a little landing
Yep.
at the bottom of the stairs.
Yep.
And then a bridge, a wooden bridge that leads from there about 20, 30 feet over to a fairly large, stone column that's in the center of this almost. I mean, you look down and your dark vision does not see the bottom.
I got it. So, okay, the column is in the middle of this chasm or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then on the column are upright
Yes.
sarcophagi.
Yeah, they're actually laying down. You can see them.
Oh,
They're
okay.
stone sarcophagi that are laying down in the center of this column. And
But
then
that's
you can
it.
see
I mean-
another bridge that leaves beyond.
Okay.
And beyond that, it's a little bit too far for you to be able to see.
Yeah, of course.
Well, this is spooky.
I like it.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Makes sense for Gloomstalker.
Let's
I could try
Well-
tossing a shiny stone down the chasm to see how far it is.
I got a feeling it's real far as I kind of look over the edge. Zero, you want to check to make sure this bridge is safe for us?
I can try and see.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and try to set myself up to be able to cast a ray of frost in case something comes out of the sarcophagus.
I draw my
Or-
long bow, actually. Yeah. I put my shield on my back, draw my long bow, knock an arrow.
It's a good weapon. What would you like me to roll, Bill?
If we're looking at the bridge, it kind of depends. If you're just using kind of like trying to spot anything, I'd say perception. If you're looking for more like in depth, like feeling around, testing it out, we're gonna go more investigation. Your choice.
I
Get
would
about
probably
the same
want to.
knowledge.
All right. I would probably mostly want to first like see if it's in condition to support us actually crossing.
Yeah. So let's go with perception.
That's a 19.
Nice. So yeah, you look at the bridge, and though it's been down here for so long, the air is dry. The conditions of this particular room seems to be ideal for maintaining, even though it is a wooden bridge. The ropes and chains that are on it seem pristine and well crafted. So at a glance, anyways, you're pretty sure that this is stable and perfectly usable bridge.
Well, all right.
Smells like my cooking does not agree with your digestion, Barry.
Well, I don't know if it's your cooking or this situation, but we might as well make the best of it. I say, though, unless something happens once we get to that center post, we make it to the far side and then maybe investigate the center post from the far side, hoping that maybe there is an exit beyond. As opposed to getting stuck on this side is my point.
I'll start leading the way with my quarterstaff in front of me to make sure if the first step wasn't really there, that my quarterstaff would probably feel it.
I'm going to watch him go across.
If you are truly worried about it, I do know mending magic, and I can make sure that the bridge, as I progress, is up to standard.
Oh, it's not only that. I mean, it looks well enough built, but I am concerned about trickery. I know many fools.
Nice. Yeah,
They're
so
all dead, of course.
as you're moving, that quarterstaff clink, 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 it resounds off of each board as you move down, and as you make your way across this bridge, they both seem fully real and fully serviceable, taking your weight and everything.
Once he makes it to the center pillar, like I'll follow across the bridge, and then so as he goes across the far bridge, I'll be behind him, and then you should be pulling up the rear.
All right, so you're making across the bridge in front of you on the center pillar, and then he's waiting there for you, or is he moving on?
I think he should just move on. Well, it's up to him, whatever he does.
Is there another like bridge on the other side or something?
Yeah, there's another bridge on the other side that goes to the other side. That's what I was saying. If we're going to investigate the center pillar, I think we should start from the other side in case something were to happen. At least we're still able to get to theoretically any exit that this leads to.
I'll just try to be alert and make sure you guys get across okay first, so we're all together before we move forward any further.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yep. Ferridin's able to do the same. He follows the footsteps, still kind of cautious, being on this wooden bridge over a chasm he can't see the bottom of. But he's able to move on and get to the other side, join Zero on the other side. Lucas, are you following along, I'm assuming?
Yes, I'll follow you.
Okay, so you're able to do the same, make it to the center pillar. It's a large stone column that comes up out of the depths, and there are 4 sarcophagus laying down upon this pillar. A bridge directly across from where this bridge was, so they kind of line up on the other side of it, leads away and towards, as you're now on this side, you can kind of see a doorway of some sort with this kind of faint blue glow coming from that room.
I So the blue glowing doorway is still on the other side where they had started heading towards, correct?
Yes, so there's a second bridge that leads from the column you're on to this blue glowing doorway. Well, the doorway itself's not blue, but you can see the room has some light blue glow to it.
Should we check out the sarcophagi? As we walked past the sarcophagi, do we see any writing or anything on them, or?
So there is a strange, like, kind of runic glyphs upon them.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what languages you guys speak.
Well, I speak Elvish, Common, Abyssal, and Sylvan.
Okay. None of those are drawing anything to you. If anyone speaks something different.
I add
I
Dwarven
speak
to that list.
So the Dwarven does strike. It is a kind of a different dialect, a deeper, less commonly used one that you probably wouldn't see often, and probably haven't seen anything of the like recently. But it strikes some place in you, like the phrases, the way it is.
The sarcophagus looks shorter than
Yeah. Yeah, they're not like normal human size. They're more definitely like dwarven size. Now that you kind of gain that, you're like, oh, it's a dwarven rune. And then if you want to give me, I guess, a history maybe, or let's do a history, but you can take advantage because again, we are dealing with humanoid.
Is the stone pillar by chance us one solid stone?
It seems to be one solid structure that's been like flattened out and smoothed out on the top of this one. So you got a 7 on that. So 17.
15. Sorry, 15.
It's 15.
Yeah, 15.
All right. So yeah, you something strikes your knowledge. Like it's not a common dialect, but you can tell it belongs to the Duergar, these deep dwarves that haven't been seen much recently because of the splitting, but you know the tales of them and your study of humanoids in their ways, you've come across enough of it to know that it's that dialect. And the few things you're kind of seeing are like names, and it says builder. Like you can kind of make out the word builder on these different sarcophagus. The names are different, but then builder seems to be the prevalent theme on it. And
sorry.
Yeah. And they're not necessarily ornate, but they're just like these kind of stone, like that they made them themselves. Sort of these stone sarcophagi were constructed.
And they're not obsidian by any chance?
No, they seem to be made out of the same sort of stone that that you're standing on currently.
Long did.
Killed the cat. I'm wondering if this in the first place. I'm going to walk to the solid stone pillar. The light spell says that it just has to be an object. It doesn't say a size. So I'm going to try to cast light onto the stone pillar itself to see if it will illuminate the entire area.
So you cast light on essentially like the ground area that you're on, and it starts to spread and then retracts a little bit. Like it doesn't have the power to illuminate the entire structure, but the floor beneath you is currently glowing.
All right. Well, that's that.
Your poor eyes.
Do you relay that? Like you, you appear to be reading this. Can you understand this language?
It's a little different than what I'm used to, but it's the ashen skin, little min.
Do you? I mean, Do you see anything that I don't see any reason to open these? I think we
Well,
should continue on.
I only believe in the spoils of war.
I would agree. I think there's no honor in robbing these. Let's move on.
Very well.
We should piss off the
objection.
spirits anyways.
Maybe another day.
I guess we should go towards that glowing door, or that door with the blue glow coming from it.
Seems as good as anywhere. We start heading that way.
All right. So you're making your way across this stone platform, and you come upon the second bridge. What is the plan for this?
We'll cross this one exactly the same way we crossed the first one.
All right. I'm assuming, Zero, that you are going to do the same similar like visual inspection that you did before. So if you'll give me one more perception check for this particular.
9. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 9.
Okay. You're pretty certain everything looks just the same. And you start across and take your step, and you put your quarterstaff down, and you take a step. You put your quarterstaff down. And Ferretin and Lucas, give me dexterity saving throws.
Shit. It's not good. 15. Nope, 14. Sorry. 14.
I got his first roll. 13 plus 2.
Okay. You guys are able to kind of react quick enough as you hear these like soft explosions go off behind you.
Jesus.
And the sarcophagi on the outsides of them kind of like splinter into a million shards of stone, and you're able to kind of dodge, and you each only take 1 point of damage as these splinter of stones kind of fly out and pepper you. Kind of just luckily you were far enough away that it just stings a little bit.
Well, so much for the honorable not opening the coffins.
We did not do that. Spirits can be pissed off at whoever put explosions in their stuff.
Yeah, exactly, right?
But Zero, though, may have turned, seen it. He kind of hurries, probably thinking the bridge might go, but he's able to make it across just fine to the other side, stepping in to a kind of a somewhat rounded room on the sides with these stone pillars that are glowing blue. There's 2 rows of them, one on either side of the room, and across from you is another opening in this little cavern. And I'm assuming the other 2 will probably hurry across once they try to avoid further things coming from these pillars. So they kind of shuffle into the room right behind you and come across this room.
All right. Enough explosions. Please check the door.
Is there an actual door?
No, it's an opening, like
Right.
yeah. So there's just an open doorway, but no actual door that would block your passage here.
I'd like to try to take a peek.
All right. Feel free to give me a perception check.
22.
You feel pretty confident, like there's no traps that you can spot around the doorway, and the room itself looks pretty free and clear as far as that goes. The only thing that obviously gives some pause or some notice is that these pillars of stone with these just they're almost like marble-esque, kind of with a darker stone, dark marble kind of a look, but they're glowing this light blue glow that kind of emanates and gives off a faint light to the rest of the room.
Okay.
It seems empty in there.
Any other exits from that room?
Yeah. Sorry, I guess I didn't describe that as well. At the other end of the room, directly in front of you, about 3 feet, there's another portal, like another opening, that opens up, and you can kind of see a little bit of the room over there. Let me see. Since you guys all have good vision, and as you're kind of like looking through, you can kind of see some sort of faint movement, like coming downwards, almost like rain or something similar to that.
Guess I would try to move through this room quietly, but as quickly as I can, but more importantly, quietly.
All right. So just passing straight through this room, and you get to the doorway, and as you're there, you spot that the room beyond actually has like rocks that are falling continuously from the ceiling. And in the center of the room, like there's pathways that go along the outside, small, like you kind of have to shimmy around the outside of this. But in the center of the room, there is another gaping hole where all these rocks are clattering and falling down into.
But they continuously fall?
Yes, they don't seem to ever stop. Like, and you try to like figure out a pattern or whatever, but it doesn't really seem to be an obvious pattern to these rocks falling. The room isn't huge. It's about 30 feet across. So you can dash through this area, or not necessarily dash, but you can, do a normal movement through this area and get to another opening on the other side. But you don't see a way to do so without coming across these rocks. There's a little bit of space in between where you think maybe if you're quick enough or able to dodge well enough, you might be able to avoid taking any damage from these stones. But
yeah,
they
What's
don't
a
stop.
lighting light?
What was that? Oh, the lighting
What's
in
the
that
lighting?
particular room. That room is dark. So the room you're in obviously is glowing slightly blue, but beyond that, there's no natural lighting.
And I'm sorry, the blue glow is on what in the room?
There are 2 columns of pillars on either side of the room.
Right. And they glow.
They glow, yeah. They're this kind of like, they would be like a dark marble-esque sort of pillars, but then they are glowing a soft blue.
Can I make an Arcana test to see like what is causing the glow, or if it's some kind of effect other than just a light?
Sure. Yeah, give me an Arcana roll. And Lucas, if you want to do so, or whatever.
Nice, 23.
Okay, so yeah, it's not just like a light spell. There is that on it, some sort of like blue eternal light cast on these things, but seems to be some other underlying enchantment that you seem to notice. And let me see, at that level, let me see if I can figure out the school off the top of my head.
There's nothing else that seems to be in this room. It's the pillars that are glowing and then the other doorway.
Yeah, other than the pillars,
and the falling rocks.
Well, that's in the next room on. Yeah.
Right.
This particular room, no, there does not seem to be anything in this room that screams out.
Any more of the Durgar runes?
No, it seems pretty devoid here. Ferrodin, you would kind of realize that there's some sort of like transmutation effect upon these pillars, but you're not sure the exact outcome of what these pillars would do. At least not without further investigation.
Press up against the walls and try to go around in a crescent.
All right. So going around the stone areas, the stone falling stone.
Yeah, I want to try to stay out of that if I can. So I
Okay.
can hopefully minimize my.
Yeah, so the stones are still falling and they're coming at you, so I would need a dexterity saving throw.
16.
Okay. So
Nice
you're
roll.
able to dodge the few stones that would come at you on this side, and you get to the other side. And the pathway suddenly ends in the next portal and the next doorway. And it opens up to a seemingly bottomless pit. The walls curve around and form a large dome above, 200 feet in diameter. Well, I guess it goes dark as you get to the other side, so far enough away that it is dark. Let's see. Across the pit on the right-hand side, you see an exit to the next room. It's 60 feet from you.
I'm gonna move up and try to dodge the rocks as well.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw from you, too.
I was afraid you were gonna say that.
Sorry, keep it consistent here. And so you will see a
I roll-
long rope. Go ahead.
I roll a 12.
So you will take 3 points of damage as a large stone clatters down, knocks across your shoulder.
But I make
but you're able to make.
Yeah. Okay.
So there is a long rope that's falling down about 30 feet in the center of this kind of chasm in front of you, or in between you and the next doorway. So it's just kind of hanging there.
What's hanging there?
They're so between you and the doorway, which is about 60 feet away, that you spot this opening over there. There's a long 30-foot rope that's hanging down from the top of the ceiling about 30 feet or so, maybe a little bit longer.
But there's also a doorway.
Lucas, you've been left behind in this room. There's a room of falling stones in front of you, and your two companions are on the other side. What would you be doing?
I kind of wave Lucas forward.
I'm interested in the reason why these are here. I guess now's not the time to really try to investigate. I'm not going to go through. I'm going to see if these Durga or whatever they are might act like pirates and put traps that have a way of circumventing them. So I'd like to try to do an investigation to see if I can find a way either to go around the trap room or to turn off the trap room.
Okay. And what's the plan for this investigation? Are we just walking around? Are we looking to see if there's some
I'm trying to see if
pressure
there's
plate,
a depression or a pressure plate that might need to be pushed or slid slightly to have the rocks to stop.
Why don't you give me an investigation?
All right, I got a 16.
Okay. You look along the outsides of the walls and the insides. You don't spot anything. So it just depends on how much you want to look at those pillars.
He's indicating to the pillars.
Well, I'm just assuming. I don't want to ever say that you decided to take your investigation to touch or feel the pillars for some pressure plate or whatever, considering they're the only weird thing in this room.
All right.
Leave that up to you.
No, because I don't want to take the risk of it turning me into a sheep. I'm going to risk the falling rocks.
All right, so if you're moving on to the falling rocks, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
Rolled a 10, so that's a 12.
All right, you will take 1 point of damage as the stones fall and kind of clatter. This one actually kind of like hits your foot, and you're able to kind of dance your way across and get to the other side. All right, and you come up and you see your friends there, kind of standing, gaping at this. Looks like a bottomless pit with another doorway off to the side, and a rope that's kind of hanging down somewhere in between you and this open doorway.
Should I try casting light onto a rock and see how far that rope goes down?
I don't understand. It's hanging. The rope is hanging down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Down a chasm.
Yeah.
Is there something on the other side of the chasm?
Yeah. So you see another doorway that is like an open area.
Okay.
That is about 60 feet from your current position, and between you and that opening is hanging a rope, but it's like 30 feet from you.
Jesus Christ, that's really far. Oh, you know what? I got this. Using prestidigitation,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to pull the rope towards us.
I don't believe prestidigitation has.
Actually, what it has.
Mage Hand, I know, does, but if you have a good argument.
Well, let's take a quick gander here at prestidigitation. I know it can like slam doors shut and do minor sensory effects, snuff out candles, torches, small campfires, clean or soil object, chill warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not.
They can't move things.
I thought it could like slam doors. I thought this was the one that like
Thaumaturgy.
Oh, I was thinking thaumaturgy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Never mind.
I'm gonna go ahead and take one of the stones that probably were stones that are just randomly falling and hitting things. Just taking like one of the small ones of those, casting light on it. I'm gonna toss the stone towards the rope if we can see how far the rope goes down. Like if it only goes down another 10 feet or something, or if it goes down another 100 feet.
Yeah. So you throw it out, and your rock gets near enough that you can spot where the rope is, and you see that about 10 feet below your current level or so, maybe a little bit further, but not much, it comes to an end, and your stone disappears until darkness envelops it, and you no longer can tell where it goes.
Well, let's see if there's a latch or something over here. Start down the wall.
I'll tell you, I'm not making that jump.
I rolled a 6 for that investigation.
You're pretty sure that there's no special latches or openings or anything on this side.
Well, I have 50 feet of rope. What we can try to do, and mind you, it might burn the rope, but I could try pulling the rope closer to us so that we can just grab it, tie more rope to it, and try to swing across.
I mean, I don't see another option.
I also have Ray of Frost. I could make a very, very thin bridge of ice.
I don't think Ray of Frost will quite do that.
It would take a very long time. I'm pretty sure you would be able to cross it because I would die of old age.
Somehow we just have to.
That is a jump that. Let's see.
Can you use your whip thing?
Yeah, that was one of the ideas, is the lightning lure to grab it and pull it towards us. Then we can tie more rope to it so that we have.
Does the
more
lightning
leeway.
lure cause damage, or does it just drag something towards you?
It causes damage too. It does lightning damage.
Might destroy rope. I have 25 feet left.
I still have 50 feet of mine.
Um,
I also have
I-
mending magic, so whatever damage I do to it, we can fix.
I have 50 feet of rope as well.
What does the rope seem to be connected to? Is it like just a loop on the roof, or?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it appears that there is a section of the stone roof that has been carved into a hole or whatever, and it seems to be passed through that and tied in a very secure, firm knot, like into the roof itself, into the stone roof itself.
Okay. So I can always try climbing up the rope itself, tie my rope to it. That way, we're not having to worry about a damaged rope, and we can then tie one portion of that rope to something heavier, toss it over to you guys so it makes sure it reaches you, and then it's just a pendulum situation, swinging and trying to get to the other side. Whoever is last is going to have the hardest time.
What if how far is this jump? If you had to jump it?
So it's like 30 feet to the rope.
There's 30 feet to the rope and 30 more feet to get to the next opening in this room.
I think the best bet might be if one of us had rope tied to us and we got to the other rope. And then you could just pull that person back, and then the rope comes with them.
Well, my pull is only 25 feet for that spell.
He means like you tie a rope on you, somehow you get to that middle rope, and then you can pull back whoever's holding onto that rope back using your personal rope, your 50-foot rope. I'm sure Ferrodin has a similar length.
Yeah, I have 50 feet.
The other one who doesn't right now is 0 because he used half of it for his spell.
Well, at that point, the best thing to do then would be to get whoever's strongest over first to make sure that they can manage that. I am not above average strength, and
I'm significantly above average, but I've known stronger men.
Do you know if the Duergar are tricksters in any way? Like, would they use some form of illusion or optical illusion that might be trouncing us in this?
I don't know much about the Duergar.
I don't even think I do. I know of them probably.
I wouldn't think that anyone would have like an intimate knowledge of Duergar or their building techniques or anything, seeing as they haven't really been seen since the shattering. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let's see. We could. I feel like the best way of doing this would be somebody has to get to the center first, and then
Realistically, and that is a long jump. I don't know how anybody could make a 30-foot, even a diving jump for it. It's going to be pretty far.
Is it based on how much you move first?
Jump, like with a running jump, you can move your strength score kind of straight without having to clear anything.
Yeah.
So you need essentially a 30-foot strength score to be able to get it. I'm sure something like I think there's like a jump spell or something which triples it, so that maybe would get you to the rope. But if one of you have it,
I do not.
I do not either.
So you would know that is not a physically possible jump without
Without some kind of magical assistance.
Some
Okay,
sort of
so we
magical
got to
ability.
figure out how to get that rope in another way. No mage hand.
And the doorway is 60 feet, correct?
Yep. hmm
The doorway just has no handle or anything.
No, from where you are, it's just carved out of the stone, so it'd be like a cave entrance, and just carved fairly smoothly by this Durgar, and the one across from you seems to be about the same.
And Meriden, you tried pushing them. Maybe they're just really heavy.
Pushing which?
The doors. The doorways are sealed doors, right?
No,
They're across the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's no actual doors that you've seen yet since getting
I thought
down.
there was one here that was
Right.
I just
There
keep
are-
saying doorways because they're kind of round
Yep.
openings in the cave. Because portals seem to be implying that there's some sort of magical thing. So
Passageway works
Yeah,
too, I
passageway.
guess.
Opening in the wall.
Okay.
I have no idea how to grab that rope.
I feel like this was a math question. I haven't done math like this in so long.
All right. So, do we want some sort of help or?
No, give us
Hint.
a minute here.
Okay. I just don't want you feeling like floundering. So let me know if you need me to let you do a roll or something. It gives you inspiration or whatever.
All right.
What's the ceiling like?
The ceiling is it's a dome, so it's carved, but it starts probably like 10 feet above you, and then it's a gradual slope that kind of goes over and around in like a perfect dome that ends, on the other side.
And we see no other way to cross the chasm.
No, from where you are, there's not even like a lip. Like the walls seem to be either carved or sheared, smooth. Like the immediate, once you get to the doorway, it's just a smooth passage. The roof goes up. It's smooth, with the exception of that little area that's been carved out to tie the rope to, and the other opening in the wall.
There's no other protrusions from the walls. It's just sheer, nothing else.
It's sheer. It almost looks like something like either tons of years just chiseling away at this, or some sort of magical effect or whatever. But it seems, pretty darn smooth.
Should I start? Oh, go ahead.
Go for it. Yeah.
I would just want to run my quarterstaff somewhere around the edges to see if maybe there's something that's invisible, or maybe there's a way across.
Yeah. So you stick your quarterstaff out and put it down, and you meet no resistance, and you go over to the walls, and you kind of run it around the walls and all the spots you can. You encounter nothing that seems anything other than what you see.
Just in case this ends up being needed, I'm going to get one of these. I'm going to use my lightning lure to try to grab one of the bigger stones, but not so big that it's just going to knock me over and cause me to fall out. But I'm just going to grab one, have it land onto our feet so that we have a counterweight if it's needed.
Okay, sure. I'll say there's enough of them that you kind of get in there. Maybe it takes you a couple tries, but you're able to latch onto one of these stones and pull it in. None of them are huge, but say you figure out one that's a little bit bigger. It's maybe 30 pounds.
All right.
What the hell? I have no idea how to get this rope. You know what? Can we maybe we should call it here. I'd like to think about this a little bit. I don't want help. Help always feels like a cop-out.
Up to you guys.
I'm getting pretty tired as it is, so maybe this is a good stopping point for me.
All right. If everyone else is cool, we can call it here, and we'll have to come back the next session.
Maybe Hrothgar will show up and give us enlightenment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Maybe
Yeah, we'll have to retcon putting somehow figure out how Hrothgar had, maybe he had snuck in or whatever as the explosion was going on.
Either that or he was crushed by the explosion before.
It finally crawls his way through, or whoever else, if someone else is able to show up.
What about tying rope to an arrow and trying to hit?
I thought about that. I mean, we could try it, but it seems a little
That's
like
the only option
yeah.
my character could ever provide.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. I mean, realistically, I guess we could, tie a string, like I could pull off a hemp length of string off this rope, fire that, and then assuming we get that, we could use the string to pull the rope closer and then tie another rope to it or whatnot. But, like actually tying a piece of rope to an arrow is probably not going to help its flight trajectory very much.
Yeah.
Well, let's give that a try. Let's give it a try. You take the shot. You've got probably the better chance.
I have silk rope, which tends to be lighter.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to shoot my longbow with an arrow for 24.
That's a hell of a shot, man.
So you're attempting to hit the other rope?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me.
Kind of low. So if I
Yeah.
snip it, it's the least amount. Snip.
Yeah. So your arrow like hits this rope, and it seems to stick in. But then as you pull back, the arrow just comes out. Like it doesn't really find purchase enough to be able to pull it back. And the rope sways a little bit. It doesn't seem to be too damaged. It just didn't seem to like.
Yeah. It's not like it's piercing it, and then we can. Yeah, it seems pretty believable that it wouldn't do that. Well,
I rolled just to see if by some miracle, like,
hey, you never know.
The decision that it would be, but
it was a hell of a shot. They're not going to get much better than that.
It's like, I'll give you a chance.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to call it for the evening. Anyway, I'm starting to get pretty tired.
All right. That sounds good. That was a good 3 hours of play.
Yeah, that was good. It was fun. It was fun, Bill.
Sorry, thank you very much.
Sorry I was late.
Nah, it's all good. I'm glad you showed up, unlike the other people said they were going to.
Well, look, when Ryan said, "Oh yeah,
I know, right?
I was like, "Look, I'm not holding my breath, buddy."
No, I never did.
Did you see my response was something like, why do you make these promises that'll hurt me or something like that?
Yeah. I loved it. Yeah, no, unfortunately, he means well, but I love him dearly.
Yeah,
I don't plan on showing up ever.
No.
So we'll see.
All right.
Either way, thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll find out next week or next time whenever we show up again how well these guys figure out how to get across this chasm.
I'm just imagining like everybody that's watching going like, the answer is so simple, you fools.
I just figured it out. This is what we do. That place where all the rocks keep falling, we just funnel all those rocks into this room so that they end up filling the chasm, and then we just walk across the rocks.
That or this room just has endlessly falling rocks all of a sudden, then we're really confused.
Video game logic. All right.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys later.
See.